It's such a pleasure to start this opening session. And I will start by inviting our new rector, here Johansen, who will lead the session, the first session. Okay, please.
Dear Minister, dear Professor Maric, who's representing the Director General of UNESCO, and dear international guests and colleagues and students from Aalborg University. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this opening ceremony at the Aalborg Center for Problem-Based Learning in Engineering Science under the auspices of UNESCO. Thank you very much for joining this important event, and a special thanks to our international guests who have traveled a long way to support and contribute to the inauguration of the new center. Having the application for the UNESCO Category 2 Center approved have been a long process, and I thank the Danish Ministry of Higher Education and Science in particular for their assistance and support during the application period. Not least, a special thanks goes to the Danish UNESCO delegation for the great support they have provided. Last but not least, I wish to thank the UNESCO for the general approval of the Aalborg Center at the UNESCO General Conference in November last year. In order to establish such an international center and institution, it is necessary to create beneficial and mutual collaboration among partners. Partners who also have been, which has also been the case here. This process has been driven by the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Science, and I wish to extend a warm thanks to Dean Esken Holm Nielsen for this initiative. The Aalborg Center has already established the organization by appointing an advisory board with 3 external members and a consultative committee comprising 36 external members from countries across the world. These boards and committees are very important for the Aalborg Center in order to enrich and strengthen the activities of the center and to reach out to regional networks. I would like to thank the members of the advisory board and the consultative committee for accepting to serve on these bodies. As the new rector of Aalborg University, and on the basis of my personal history as a graduate from this university, I am truly convinced that the success of the PBL model and its accomplishments in educating engineering and scientists. The PBL model provides graduates with knowledge and competences that meet both the needs and competences and the sustainability challenge in society. Results from Danish surveys among companies and students indicates clearly the success and potential of this educational model. And in a series of parameters, Aalborg University have proven the efficiency of the model, both in terms of economy and competences which are relevant for companies. Aalborg University was established in 1974, and we have just celebrated our 40 years anniversary, which also indicates that the university is able to draw on 40 years of PBL experience. In this light, Aalborg University is a pioneer of PBL, and we are very proud to be hosting and formally establishing this center today. The Aalborg Center is based on the work of the UNESCO Chair in PBL, which has existed since 2007 and has already built up a comprehensive global network and extensive research activities. The UNESCO Chair will lead the work on building up the center. Our work is sponsored by the Opel Family Foundation and the university is very grateful for this support and acknowledgement. The new platform in the Aalborg Center will take the work of the UNESCO chair to the next stage at a global level. And Aalborg University is proud to contribute to educational change in countries across the world. Aalborg University should continuously act as an exemplary role model on the international scene and should be an example for other universities. This also involves activities that will cause Aalborg University to develop internally and to improve the PBL model. Therefore, the Aalborg Center will contribute to conduct and develop our research activities and will collect evidence of successes and lessons learned. We must learn from the experience of others as well from our own experience. Doing so will contribute to the internal development of our pedagogical model and support the integration of sustainability in engineering and science. I look forward to following the activities of the Aalborg Center for Problem-Based Learning, Engineering and Science and to our meeting over the next 2 days. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to invite Professor Maciej Nalic to give to the floor on behalf of the Director General of UNESCO. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister Nielsen, Honorable Rector, Michael Johansen, Dean, Honorable Dean and Professor Annette Kolmos, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure this afternoon to represent the Director General of UNESCO here at the inauguration of the Aalborg Center for Problem-Based Learning in Engineering, Sciences and Sustainability. This is an auspicious occasion, as the Aalborg Center is one of the first engineering centers to be created within UNESCO program. From its inception, UNESCO has always been supporting engineering, and engineering was in the heart of its activity. It's possibly worth mentioning that actually formation of UNESCO in 1945 has been signed in the Institution of Civil Engineers in London. And through many years there was a special division for engineering sciences in UNESCO, which was then merged with the basic sciences in 2001. And I had the honor for 10 years to be the director of this division of basic and engineering sciences, which, among many other activities in engineering, through the activity of my colleague Tony Marjoram, present here today and known to majority of you, produced the first ever World Engineering Report, something that we hope very much will be continued, and that Aalborg Center will actually help us creating chapters of this engineering report for the future, having problem-based learning as one of the chapters to be covered by this World Engineering Report. Basic and engineering sciences has now been further merged to form a new, broader structure called Division for Science Policy and Capacity Building, that I am also having. But this is showing a time change in UNESCO. We are passing through quite difficult times, as some of you may know. So we are especially grateful for initiatives at national level of this sort, creating centers under UNESCO auspices that would allow us to actually strengthen our own program through collaboration with places like this one on a global scale. We also are very keen in having science education and engineering education at the heart of our future activity. So it is due to all this that the Aalborg Center will be a valuable and great resource for UNESCO. The university, which is a part of the global network of this new visionary approach to science education, can actually lead not only in Europe, but in collaboration with us on a global scale. It takes courage to go against the current, and Aalborg University has done just that, and with incredible results. Aalborg University shifted the engineering education paradigm from a lecture-based traditional program to a new, innovative method of teaching that encourages learning through project work and integrated lecture in a problem-based curriculum. University engineering students are some of the most sought after job, most sought for the job as candidates being prepared by this type of education. Problem-based learning naturally lends itself to the promotion of ecological, economic and social dimensions of sustainability, as the flexible curriculum allows students to consider the different aspects of the problem and think about the consequences and interactions of their decisions. So, an active partnership between UNESCO and Aalborg Center for Problem-Based Learning in Engineering Sciences and Sustainability provides us in UNESCO with invaluable resource to further this goal. Only through education can we achieve sustainable and inclusive knowledge societies. And engineering education, through problem-based learning, will help us achieve this. We welcome the Aalborg Center as a Category 2 center under the auspices of UNESCO. As I said, one of the first ever UNESCO centers in engineering, and the first UNESCO center in Denmark. And we look very much forward to our continued collaboration and partnership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this enlightening speech, Professor Knowledge. And that our minister should be ready.
Our minister is not ready.
Maybe a few political agreements must be made.
I 200.
And this is not a picture of the minister. I'm pretty sure it's not. Hello.
Hello.
So now I'd like to invite the Minister for Higher Education and Science, Sofie Carsten Nielsen, to speak to us, and via Skype, Sofie. So welcome here.
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations with the opening of the first UNESCO Category 2 Center here in Denmark. I'm very sorry I couldn't come. It's not the same as being here, but still, I'm very glad that we can see each other. At least you can see me. You're upside down here with me, but that works out fine. Using Skype. Last weekend, you might know, saw the Copenhagen Marathon take place. And I watched some of it. I even waited until there was room to do my quite a lot shorter run around the lakes in Copenhagen. But it was the same weekend that Aalborg Football Club celebrated winning the Danish Superliga. Some of the marathon runners also celebrated by running the marathon in the football club's jersey. And you today also have good reason to celebrate Aalborg, or Aalborg University to be more precise. Because I know that today is the culmination of a long process. And you could, in some ways, compare it to a marathon. Your congratulations are well deserved. It is a wonderful achievement. When UNESCO's General Conference approved the center on November 13th last year, it was an important international seal of approval that pedagogy and the quality of teaching are to be taken seriously. I'm very happy with that. The particular problem and project-based form of teaching that Aalborg University has developed over the last 40 years has shown to be very effective at producing both engineers and researchers who collaborate to solve complex problems. It is only logical that other places learn from and profit by this pioneering work. And it is important that the learning methods continue to be developed. Quality in teaching is vital. In the last decade, we politicians have been very, and maybe a little too much, but very focused on encouraging young people to pursue an education. And it has been quite successful, and I'm happy with that. The government is well on its way to achieving its ambitious target of creating the best educated generation in Danish history. But of course, it's not enough that many people are getting an education. It's not enough to see many people entering the doors of higher education. We also need to see what takes place behind those doors. We must have high quality education. And if we do not provide quality education and a workforce with the right qualifications, then our society will lose out on opportunities, on investments, and on jobs. So we must dare to be ambitious, and I have two clear ambitions. One is that our young people are offered some of the best education in the world, and secondly, that we ensure that they can use their education to secure an exciting life, but also good jobs. Because Denmark faces a competitive global labor market. It is quick to transition, and it is asking more of us. Our education programs have not necessarily followed suit all the way through. Status quo is really not an option. There is a need for change, there's a need for improvement. And I know that Aalborg University takes the quality of education very seriously. I know that you have good experience with problem-based learning. I recently heard the professor Annette Collins with you today tell the annual education meeting of higher education in Denmark about the research into PBL. And it has shown that students increase their motivation to learn, they increase their knowledge and competences, they tend to increase deep learning, they get higher grades, it reduces dropout rates, and they complete their studies more quickly. That is good results. Another area where Aalborg University and problem-based learning have had good results is within social mobility. 80% students accepted in 2011 came from non-academic backgrounds. That is really record high. You recruit students from parts of Denmark where there is a low rate of families with higher education. You accept a greater share of these students than your recruitment area requires. Education is the most certain path to social mobility, to ensure self-development despite your background, and of course, to create equality of opportunity. I'll do all that I can to remove any barriers that make the path to education difficult or long for some. And I'm really very pleased that Aalborg University is playing a key role in this. It is so important that everyone have the opportunity to realize their own potential, to develop their talent, to no matter what background they have. And I'm really proud that we in Denmark now have an exceptional international center. It pays off, it seems, to complete a marathon race. The long and hard work has borne fruit, but of course the work is not finished. We still need to keep up the pace. And I have quite great expectations for your function as a nerve center in a global knowledge sharing network for education. It is important that we in Denmark are open to the world, that we allow ourselves to be inspired from all over, and of course that we inspire others with our experience. So I look forward to follow your research into effective learning and developing even more successful methods. Once again, I'm really very sorry that I can't be with you, but I'll make sure to sign the agreement very shortly, and on this background, I will now declare the center open. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this nice talk, Minister. And we will leave you to whatever it is you have to do. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being here. And now I'd like to invite Professor Malic and maybe some representative for the ministry, or just bring it home. Okay. We'll have to sign.